To make this sugar wax, you need your sugar. I'm using 1 cup of sugar, 1 lemon, and then water. I'm just going to add my sugar into my pot. You can use a smaller pot, guys. I don't know why I ended up using this bigger pot, but anyways, you add your water and then you go ahead and squeeze out your lemon juice. You can also use a lemon juice if you don't have fresh lemon available. I'm done squeezing it, so I'll just go ahead and mix everything together. So you want to mix this thoroughly, making sure that it doesn't burn, and you also want to make sure that it's also on medium heat. When you start mixing, it just looks like this. Again, making sure that you're medium heat and you're not skipping a step. Now, what you're actually adding is really important. You don't want to add too much sugar. You want to make sure that all your measurements are correct, or you are going to have to do this all over again. When I first started out, that is my first time making a sugar wax, I made a mistake. So it's okay if you make a mistake when it's your first try, but you can also avoid that if you use the correct measurements. If you want a bigger quantity, you can just double this measurement. Now, as you start mixing, you're going to realize that it's going to start bubbling up and forth like this. Just make sure you reduce the heat and then continue to mix, as well as check the color. As you can see, the color is changing gradually. Continue mixing and mixing until you get that color that we are going for. You will see it at the end. So this is what it's looking like right now. You just mix for a little bit. So this is the consistency and color that you want it to look like. This should take like 8 minutes. It really depends on your stove. When it's done, it should be this rich golden brown color. Remove it from your stove and let it cool for a couple of minutes. Cooling period should take about 20 to 30 minutes so you don't burn yourself. Feel free to continue to stir it because it's going to cool it off, and as it cools off, you will see that it starts to thicken. Basically, what I'm looking for is a consistency that when I start to spoon it, it will hold the shape a little bit before it starts to melt back to itself. That's when I know it's ready. So if you ever attempted this recipe before but couldn't use it because your wax always gets really hard, you want to try this method and knead it before you store it, then keep the mixture moving. If your wax is hard, you may have overcooked it. Just heat it again and add a little water. But if your wax is runny and kind of liquidy, then it's undercooked. So you want to heat it again and wait for this nice color that you can see right here. So I'm just going to let it cool down, and this is what it's looking like as it's cooling down. It will still get thick when it cools down, so keep on mixing. You can transfer this into a jar or a glass container or bowl if you have one, but I decided to let it cool here because it's still the same thing. So if you're wondering why I made a little quantity, it's because I don't have much hair on my legs or on my hands, so I only wax my underarm and bikini area. But if you have a lot of hairs on your leg and on your hands, then consider doubling this measurement so that it can be enough for you. But if you end up having excess after waxing is still remaining, then you just transfer it into your jar, a tight container, and then leave it till anytime you want to wax again. All you have to do is just melt it, warm it up using hot water. Just place it on top of hot water for it to melt, or you can use your microwave, anyone, then you start using it again. So that's literally how to make your sugar wax. The water I'm dipping my hands into is just to coat my fingers a little bit to keep the sugar from sticking to my skin. So whenever your sugar starts getting too clean, you just use a very little bit of water. And you will also know that your sugar is done kneading, or that you are done kneading the sugar when the color starts to change. So I'm going to play a video for you if you don't know how to wax, so you see how to do it. We are done kneading the sugar, and this is what it's looking like. It's way brighter than before. The color has changed, and this is what we want it to look like. So it's ready for use, and let's get to waxing. So you want to make sure to start off by powdering the skin. You can use baby powder or any type of powder for this, or you can also use cornstarch, which is going to ensure that your skin is dry and free from sweat. You are going to now mold the paste into the hair. So when applying the sugar, you want to go in the opposite direction of your hair growth. So you are going to mold twice, and then when you are ready to pull, you just flip it, because you are going in the opposite direction when you are applying the sugar. When you go to pull the sugar off, you're taking the hair out in the direction of your hair growth. When the hair starts to grow back in, because it wasn't pulled out at a weird angle, it's growing in the way it would naturally, therefore lessening the probability that you get an ingrown hair. As you can see, the color changed, so it's because it exfoliates the skin as well as taking out the hair. So just get a new one and continue. So for aftercare, pat dry the area you just finished waxing, cut open your aloe vera and use the gel to massage that area. After that, you go in with any oil of your choice and massage everything in. So that is pretty much everything. If you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. Give this video a big thumbs up if you end up enjoying it, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not subscribed already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.